So GPT-5 is here. And with every huge leap in technology like this, a brand new skill is born. We've just seen a massive one. But the real challenge isn't just using this new AI. It's about truly mastering it. This isn't just about asking better questions anymore. It's about giving perfect instructions. So let's dive into how you can really talk to this thing and get it to do exactly what you want.
Okay, so this is the big question, right? We have this incredibly powerful model, but how do we get it to perform these complex tasks with absolute precision? Well, the answer means we have to kind of shift our thinking. We need to go way beyond just asking simple questions and start treating our prompts as a sophisticated craft, a way of giving incredibly precise, almost surgical instructions.
All right, first things first, we have to get our heads around the fact that GPT-5 isn't just a simple upgrade. It's a whole new ballgame. It was built from the ground up with developers and complex workflows in mind, specifically for what people are calling agentic tasks. That means the AI can take multiple steps, use different tools, and actually reason its way through a problem. It's so much more than a simple chatbot. The best way to think about this is like you're a movie director, and the AI is your star actor. If you give them a vague, confusing script, you're going to get a confusing performance. It's that simple. But a sharp, detailed, well-written script, that's how you get an Oscar-worthy result. The quality of what you put in now directly, literally, dictates the quality of what you get out. That's the game.
So how do we actually start writing that perfect script? Well, the first key technique is learning how to shape the AI's personality. It's a lot like training a new employee, actually. You have to decide how much initiative you want them to take, and with GPT-5, this all comes down to managing its eagerness. And this idea of initiative, it actually has a name: agentic eagerness. The best way to picture it is like a dial that you can turn up or down to control how proactive the AI is. Do you want an assistant that's going to double-check every little thing with you, or do you want one that just forges ahead on its own to get the job done? You get to decide that with your prompt. Let's make this really concrete. If you want a cautious assistant, you tell it something like, your goal is to get context fast. Stop as soon as you can act. Don't overdo it. But for a proactive agent, you flip the script. You tell it, keep going until this is solved. Never stop because you're unsure. Make a decision and move. See? It's the exact same AI. It's your instructions that create two totally different workers.
Now, this whole idea of coaching the AI, it gets even more critical when you step into the world of coding. GPT-5 skills in this area are so advanced that they're forcing even the top developers to completely rethink how they work. We're way past just generating little code snippets. This is about full-on collaboration with an AI partner on massive projects.
And hey, this isn't just some abstract theory. The team behind Cursor, that's a big AI-powered code editor, they got early access to GPT-5 and they discovered something really fascinating. The very same techniques that worked wonders on older models, well, they just didn't work anymore. They had to adapt, and fast.
And here's the kicker, the key thing they learned. Forcing GPT-5 to be super thorough, a classic trick that worked on older models, was actually counterproductive. It made things worse. Why? Because the model is already built to be proactive and think for itself. Over-instructing it was like yelling at a world-class sprinter to run faster. It just messes them up.
So naturally, the prompts themselves had to change. The old way was basically a command: be thorough, get the full picture. You are forcing it to be diligent. The new way, it's more like a gentle suggestion, biased towards not asking for help. You're trusting the AI's built-in talent and just fine-tuning its judgment. It's a huge shift from commanding to coaching.
This brings us to what might be the most critical skill of them all: crafting instructions that are crystal clear and have zero contradictions. Because GPT-5 follows instructions with such incredible precision, any confusion in your prompt can send it spiraling down a rabbit hole, trying to solve a puzzle you never even meant to create.
You see, a less powerful AI might just ignore one of your rules and pick a path, any path. But GPT-5, in its quest to follow all your instructions perfectly, will actually burn through its processing power trying to make sense of the conflict. This means a poorly worded prompt doesn't just get a bad result, it actively sabotages the AI's ability to perform. Okay, here's a perfect real-world example from a medical scheduling assistant that causes exactly this problem. Look at these two conflicting rules. First, it says, never schedule without explicit consent. Got it. But then it says for urgent cases, auto-assign, without contacting the patient. The AI is now completely stuck in a paradox. So you see it, right? You've handed the AI a logical trap. These two commands are mutually exclusive. For a machine that thinks in pure logic, this can cause total paralysis. It just doesn't know what to do. And here is the fix. It's a tiny change, but it's incredibly powerful. The instruction is changed to auto-assign after informing the patient. And boom, just like that, the conflict is resolved. The logic is clean. Now the AI has a clear, executable path forward that follows both the consent rule and the urgency rule.
All right, now for a really fascinating next-level technique. What happens if you're stuck? What if you can't spot the contradiction in your own prompt? This is where you use something called meta-prompting. And what it is, essentially, is you use the AI to help you debug your instructions to the AI. I know, it's a little mind-bending, but it is so powerful. And this is literally how you do it. You feed GPT-5 your original prompt, and you tell it, look, here's what I want you to do, but here's the weird thing you're actually doing. Then you just ask it for a few small edits to fix the problem. You're basically leveraging the AI's own intelligence to improve how you communicate with it. It's brilliant.
So, what does this all add up to? As we start to wrap up here, the biggest takeaway is that effectively controlling these new, super powerful AIs is becoming a new form of literacy. It's a skill that isn't based on coding or programming, but on clarity, on logic, and on precision with our own natural language.
So let's just do a quick recap of the essentials. First, you've got to think like a manager. You control the AI's eagerness. Second, you need to adapt your style. Don't talk to a super smart model the same way you did an older one. Third, be absolutely ruthless with logic. Hunt down any and all contradictions in your instructions. And finally, when you're in doubt, use metaprompting. Let the AI help you get it right. And we'll end on this thought. For centuries, being literate has meant mastering the written word to communicate with other people. But we're watching a new chapter open up right now. If this sophisticated prompting is the new literacy for communicating with artificial intelligence, it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What kind of incredible things are we going to write next?